What's up, OBB fam? It is Toast, and when it came to their tagline, the Ed Morse Automotive Group could have said anything, but they went with backed by Morse. They want their customers to know that when they buy from Ed Morse, they are backed by Ed Morse. And right now, during the Get Backed event, every vehicle is on sale and backed by Morse. New vehicles are backed by Morse with price protection promises. All used vehicles are on sale and backed by Morse with thorough inspections and warranties. Even your service is backed by Morse with a price match guarantee. Shop hundreds of new, used, and certified pre-owned vehicles, all the best makes and models, all on sale, and all backed by Morse. Ed Morse even has your back with low finance rates on all your favorite vehicles, and you already know their lower finance rates mean lower monthly car payments. So make this the year you get backed by Morse. Shop an amazing selection of vehicles with unbeatable deals, all backed by Morse. Find a location nearest you and go to edmorse.com today. But remember, you're only backed by Morse when you buy from Morse.
The OBBs are very proud to welcome LifeWallet to our family in 2022. This revolutionary technology is changing the game in the medical field. The LifeWallet app locates and structures your medical records in one secure location, so you can access them easily and efficiently. Currently, your medical records are inconveniently stored by healthcare providers across multiple platforms. The hurdle we as consumers face with the current structure is that these systems do not interconnect. The solution? LifeWallet facilitates the interconnectivity of your entire medical history, from birth to present day. Download the app today at either the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. LifeWallet. The time is now.
One thing the OBB fam adores is a quality beer. No one better to get it from than South Florida's own The Tank Brewing. Located at 5100 Northwest 72nd Avenue in Miami, they've got 25,000 square feet of liquid innovation happening, 16 taps, and a great kitchen. If you can't get down to the brewery for a pint or a tour, you can find their product on the shelves of your local Publix or Total Wine. So go grab a six-pack of Loca or La Playita or Frank the Tank and pop one open as you listen to an episode of the Orange Bowl Boys. The Tank Brewing, the official bar of the OBB.
Coming to you from the middle of Canes country, you're listening to the #1 rated football podcast in the Dominican Republic.
Hola.
These are the Orange Bowl Boys.
Brought to you by Ed Morse. Join the 1.75 million people that have been backed by Morse. With the price protection promise, Ed Morse will match any competitor's price or refund you up to $7,500.
Here's Toast, Roman, and Scoop.
Hey, Scoop,
Yeah?
do you think you'll get the number right this week?
I'm not sure.
All
What
right.
number are you on?
Catorce!
14! Is that it?
Welcome to the Mario era. It is chapter 14. Yes, Catorce.
Yes. Catorce.
Well done. Well done, Ro.
Cheers.
How are you, boys?
So, this is a rare morning drop, kind of
I know.
recording, kind of
morning recording.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
I got my coffee.
you think it only happens at this hour if something drastically bad happens the night before?
We adapt and overcome. That's just what we do.
We do. So we got plenty of stuff to hit today, boys. Obviously, we will check in on the fully padded spring practices going on. Then outside of the Canes, I mean, the Dolphins made a couple moves we should probably talk about. And I'm not sure if you saw, but Udonis Haslam ready to get Jimmy Butler's ass.
Saw that.
You see that? That was, and Spoelstra's as well. That was quite a, they've been talking about that on ESPN like crazy. We also got 5 questions we'll get into. But before we get into all of that, how you boys doing? Everyone good?
5 questions. Oh, I'm doing good. Doing good. Much better these days. Yeah, things are calming down. But it's the calm before the storm because it's almost legend time.
That's true.
It's time to go to work. Time to make the donuts.
I have to make a lot of donuts.
Do you remember those commercials back then?
I do.
Early, time to make the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts. And all their new franchisees, I think I said that right. They don't say Dunkin' Donuts anymore. They just say Dunkin'.
Yes, I believe they dropped the donuts.
Is that like non-gender specific? for them in their language? No? I mean, they drop the nuts. Just saying.
Oh, God.
And that's all I got.
That's all good. I think that was just enough.
That's good. I don't think we need any more.
I think that was enough. Oh, but you got all your STA stuff on. That's nice to see. Representing the alma mater.
Well, you can only see his shirt because the top of his head's cut off.
Oh, I see his head.
I can see my head.
You do?
Yeah, I see his head. I see the head.
I don't see his head at all.
Oh.
Yeah, I do.
Maybe the horizontal version is.
Well, there you go. Sure.
Is head capable. I got the vertical version here.
Yep.
Do you guys want to go down to Green Tree?
I think we
Should we
should.
hit Green Tree? All right, hang on.
572, 5800.
Let's go! So, spring practice going on, full patch. Here's what I'll tell you from what we're reading, and obviously Gio's been down there for us, but last week's episode, where Gio went position by position, everything he said he was seeing last week is what you're hearing this week. The wide receiver situation, he was saying that it's X, it's Jacoby, and it's Key, and that Ladson hadn't shown up, and apparently that's what we're hearing this week as well. So some surprises there, especially with that. How you guys feeling about what you're reading and everything so far?
Yeah, those are the three. Excuse me. Those are the three. It's, oh my goodness. Rose over there coughing and choking on something, and I'm the one that's like audibly. It's very strange. So yeah, Jacoby's the guy, right? Jacoby's the guy on the outside, along with Keyshawn Smith, and then X is your starter in the slot, and you can talk to me about somebody else wanting to start there or thinks that they should start there. X is starting there, okay? He's the best receiver on the team, top to bottom, does everything well. He'll be your guy. And Daz apparently is continuing his very good week one into the second week of camp. Is shown out. He's gotten some burn with the ones as well. I don't think he'll surpass Jacoby, but the reality is you want 5 or 6 guys to be as close together in talent and ability as possible. So I'll take him, interchange him. It doesn't matter. And you had mentioned Ladson. I mean, look, a lot of these kids leave certain schools for reasons sometimes. Now with the portal, it's much more of an opportunity to bail and, I want to come home, whatever. That was kind of the knock on him up there too. So, I'd love for him to he's a big dude, right? I mean, he can be a dominant receiver. He just hasn't quite shown it yet. And then you have some of the young guys too, right? I mean, you have Mello still in the mix. Brashad obviously in the slot. I mean, that's the receiver room. Everything that I've seen is that practices are at an entirely different level, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to know. I mean, do you see the 4 Hall of Famers that were at practice yesterday or 2 days ago? I mean,
I saw the speech too.
Yeah, I mean, the swagger speech.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. So I mean, that was on like a Wednesday,
Right.
These people are just coming out at Ordrin's, not even talking about Hall of Famers. Ordrin's there.
Rohan doing his best Mario impression of how he walked.
That's pretty funny. Rohan's there. It's nice to see everybody come back and be welcomed and show the brotherhood.
Mario gets it. Now, let me circle back on the wide receiver room. In terms of Ladson, I think we always knew this was going to be like a, low risk, high reward type of thing. What are we expecting? We weren't, when Charleston Rambo was added to the roster, I wasn't necessarily expecting the same from like Ladson. When Charleston was here, I was like, that's your ex wide receiver. You need him. That's the guy. I was watching some of his, Oklahoma film. I never put that same premise. I never put that same responsibility on Frank Ladson. Frank Ladson come in, could be, piece and packages, could go ahead and, extend some drives. That's what we need him to do. As far as the Brashard thing, in terms of the slot, listen, guys, for those who are making a big case for that guy to play and he's an electric, and I want him to play, there's going to be times where him and X are on the field together. Stop it. This isn't Mark Rick hockey lines anymore. This is, This is Josh Gaddis. He's obviously a Broyles Award winner. He knows how to get his playmakers on the field. He knows how to get mismatches. If that means X and Brashard are on the field the whole game together and that gives him the best chance to win, that's what he's going to do. So, yes, Xavier's going to be that guy, proverbial guy, right? What Charleston Rambo was at the X receiver position, he's going to do it from the Y or the slot, right? That's him. It's hard to take him off the field. When he's on the field, your team's going to change. But all the other pieces where Charleston Rambo was the centerpiece and everything changed around him, Xavier's going to be that centerpiece and things are going to change around him, and that's the way we see it. So I just wanted to circle back on that wide receiver position because there we go. Linebacker, let's get your takes on that. Linebacker seemed like it shifted a little bit. You got some different casted characters, and I'm curious to see what happens in the portal in a month or two.
Good to see that apparently TVD has picked up where he left off last year and is just on target, is just hitting everybody. Saw some beautiful throws to X and some others. I guess the only thing they're saying that he has to work on, I guess the Gaddis offense, guys, features more rollout passes by the quarterback, and that is, you know, if there was a weaker part of the game, it would be, you know, because he just hasn't done that a whole lot, so he just has to kind of get that down. But outside of that, dude, he's looking phenomenal.
That's fine. Give him a couple more reps at it. I mean,
yeah,
he's plenty athletic. He's plenty capable. He's very good at off, as Ro mentions, quite a bit off-platform throws. He's not terribly over the top anyway, so that lends to it being a bit easier on rollouts. So zero issues with me for that.
Real quick, Bruce Arians, he doesn't necessarily roll out, and this is in the other direction, Mr. Gaddis. Bruce Arians doesn't take Tom Brady and just roll him out all the time either. If that's not necessarily his game, if there's plays that you need to do it, but if you want to have a full roll-on play-action offense, guess what? A team in the NFL that's going to draft TVD isn't going to run that offense with him, okay? You got to be more capable. That's saying that. But let's not build an offense off something that TVD is not TVD strength. That's when it's going to be a little bit critical from my aspect because they always say, you got to think players and not plays. Well, you know what he does good. When you give him time in the pocket and you give him max protect looks and he has time to shoot it downfield, do that. You couldn't do that at Michigan last year, Mr. Gaddis. Your quarterback sucked, right? I watched him. I think you knew he sucked. You won an award because your quarterback sucked. Because you had to build an offense and got to the playoffs with a quarterback who sucked. You have a quarterback who doesn't suck. So you don't have to do that. You don't have to change the launch point. You don't have to fabricate this. Just let the kid throw the ball downfield. He'll make you look good. That's why the former OC got a head coaching job, and that's what you want. I promise you, it's going to work out if you just let the kid make plays and just do what he's comfortable. Don't overcomplicate that. Fine. You want to roll out? Okay. We weren't a primary rollout team last year. Our offense was okay.
Speaking of making plays, there's someone down there on offense that's getting rave reviews because he has stepped up. He has stepped up when the guy in front of him has had some issues, and that is Arroyo, bro.
Yeah.
So Will Mallory's out for the rest of the spring. He's got a shoulder issue, so hopefully he gets back on the mend ASAP. But until then, Arroyo has stepped in, and there has been zero drop-off, apparently. He is looking good out there.
No, he's the guy. He's
a freak.
He's 1B. And if Mallory's not there, he's 1A. And what we really like about is now the continued depth at tight end with Skinner. And then you have Brantley as well. Brantley's certainly capable. I don't know if Brantley is, of the caliber as the two guys in front of him. But to have that room have that type of depth, and it always seems that we do. I mean, the tight end room always seems to have, you have Brevin and Mallory, and then you had before that you had whoever and Brevin. Like, I mean, it's it's just one of those things.
Herndon,
right? So I love the fact that I don't love Will to be out because this isn't the same offense. He does need reps in Gaddis' system, so that's unfortunate. However, I do love the fact that Skinner's going to get some more playing time now that Will's out, because Skinner is potentially the future guy. I mean, Arroyo's a stud. Skinner's he's a different mold. He's a different type of athlete. So look, for us to be able to sit here and talk about the fact that we have these athletes now, right? Skinner was a Bama guy, right? I mean, and the only reason he's here is because of Field and Mario combo. got him to come here. And that's the type of athlete that he's upper echelon. To have him number 3 on the depth chart, even though he's a true freshman, 5-6 years ago, we'd be screaming for him to start. So the ability to have him learn and slowly get introduced to the system, whether it's inside, outside, wherever they're going to be moving him around, it's a luxury right now, and it's just getting started, so it's pretty exciting.
I mean, practice has to be going well because you saw 5-star from American Heritage, Brandon Ennis. He was like, this is probably the best practice. Now, I know there's this like ongoing meme, if you will, and joke on social media. Oh, it was the best practice I've ever seen, but it seemed like it was legitimate. I mean, obviously he has interest elsewhere early. You know, USC, Ohio State, likely to be the landing spot for the 5-star stud. And I got to watch him live with our boy Gio, who's been going to practices and great ambassador and representative for the OBB legend. And that was the consensus, that he didn't really have Miami high up. But, you know, you get him on practice, you get him to watch it, you get him impressed, and you never know. You keep planting seeds, and whereas past administrations, past staffs, it was a no chance. I won't necessarily say that Ennis is a no chance guy, but we have the opportunity now with Mario to make up ground. Obviously, he wasn't recruited well enough with the previous staff, and Ennis, by all admission, wasn't impressed with the previous staff. So we'll see what happens. But obviously,
when Mario was a no chance guy.
Yeah.
You just
I never want to say never.
He's not committing for another 11 months.
Yep.
Like, just let it play out. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. You know, exactly.
Either of you guys, everyone's raving about the offense. Not hearing a lot of rave reviews about the defense thus far, though. Any worries there? Or
sure.
And also, so I saw someone put this out on Twitter. Who is the first coach that will find himself in the crosshairs of this fan base this season? Seemed to be Mr. Steele was the favorite in the betting favorite going in.
I'll dig a little deeper than Steele because there's layers here. I'll go to Charlie Strong, and it won't be his fault. It's just inheritance.
Yeah, Thank you. I was going to get there.
You got nothing in the cupboard.
You're going to see really, really quickly what they think about the talent on the roster, especially defensively. I mean, there's some high wish list items we have from the portal. We want a dominant defensive end from the portal. You know, FSU kind of changed what they did last year because they ended up getting a guy that basically, if they didn't get him, we beat that game. I mean, he took over that game for them. Defensive end. Linebacker position is well documented. We love our secondary. I mean, as far as the safety position, striker positions, those are solid. Those have been recruited solid. But, you know, some CB 1, 2, 3 issues, and linebacker unilaterally with defensive end depth. You got to build the rebrand. You got to build the U-turn from the trenches. And the defensive line is a glaring deficiency for me. And it's the only reason why I can't say, we're going to win the Coastal. Yeah, because we always say we're going to win the Coastal. That's the goal. That's the job. But until that side of the ball, because I'm not really concerned with the offensive side of the ball. I'm not. The defensive side of the ball is the only thing that I'm still pumping the brakes until I see what portal moves, and that's where I'm at. I don't think you're good enough to win the Coastal unless you make some roster moves.
On defense.
Correct.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of has that opinion. I don't, you have and can Steele scheme around it effectively, more so than we saw last year, last couple of years where you had glaring deficiencies and you just kept running the same thing out there and you couldn't much do anything about it really. Can he scheme around it? Can he scheme around deficiencies? I mean, that's coaching. And that's the ability to coach the kids on a week-to-week basis based on a game plan that they may or may not have repped. And have them be successful at it come Saturday. So we'll see. It's going to be a combination of both. It's going to be a combination of proper coaching, better coaching, and what can they get out of the kids that are already there, aside from, Rose's intent of getting some help in the portal, which I'm sure that they're looking into.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think that maybe this offense will be so explosive it can cover up for some of the defensive, like we can get in some shootouts and still win, like we can have a situation where we're giving up, a couple games where we give up, 35-40, but we can still outscore them?
That would have to be the case against maybe a UNC whose defense may be a little sus, but when you go ahead and play the you don't want to get in a shootout versus a Clemson. They're still going to field a great defense. I mean, that's what they do year after year. I want to see what Clemson does specifically with Brett Venables gone, but reality is you can't count on your offense for shootouts. There's always that game or two where they're going to lay an egg, right? They're going to shoot themselves in the proverbial foot. And then that's when you need a game where your defense can bail you out. It always happens. You have the record-breaking Miami offense. It's scoring 50 points a game. There's that one game it scores 21, 24, and that's the game where you need your defense to bail you out. So that's something where I think the offense is going to carry this team. This isn't the Miami defense of nightmare that we used to field on a consistent basis yet. Give Mario time there. The offense will carry it, but I don't think the defense is in a position yet where it's going to go ahead and take over games.
And speaking of, we're a little deficient on the defensive side of the ball. Our offense needs to produce. They need to produce at a really, really high level. And Toast brought up something very interesting the other day. I think it was Toast, may or may not be, that Miami has never had a 4,000-yard passer.
I was shocked by that, bro. Yeah. I was shocked. I just assumed that Kaya had done it because Kaya is the all-time. I just assumed that he had, but he hadn't. Like all three of his seasons are among the top 10 in Miami history, but he never clipped. And Bernie's still the record holder.
Bernie is the
1984.
record holder. So you guys
1984.
think? I mean, I have an opinion on this. So the record is 3,642, 3,642 yards in a single season. I don't know how many games that was in. That was 1984. 37 years ago, 38 years ago now. So does TVD have the opportunity, and do you think that he will set that mark this year?
No. Easy.
No. Easy. Okay. Toast?
I am going to say, I'm going to go ahead and say yes. I understand that means that it's like 330 or something yards average per game.
Plus, if you get in an ACC championship game, that counts.
Well,
plus, if you get in a bowl game, that counts. There's more chances.
No. It's regular season. The postseason games do not count towards the regular season.
12 or 13 games.
Yeah.
12?
So it's 12 games. It's 12 games.
Well, the ACC championship game, if you get there, counts. That counts, yes. That's not a playoff
maybe the ACC title game. Yeah, maybe the ACC title game would count.
Okay, so potentially 13 games. Let's say it's 12 games. So at 12 games, it's only 300 a week.
Which was an ACC record when he did it 7 times in a row.
I mean, look, there's going to be some games where I think there's going to be multiple games probably where he's 250, 260, 270.
Yeah.
Right? And there's going to be a couple games where he's at 400 plus. So it's going to be close.
At 220. And the reason why I said no, he's not going to do it is because you can't come in here saying you want this concerted effort to run the ball, and then next you know you're going to break the record for passing. I just think Mario's going to hang his identity on the fact that he wants to run the ball. And that was going to be a question I had for you guys. I mean, finish this TVD debate, and that would be great odds. Will BTB, let's make odds on this, right? Will TVD break the record this year for passing? I want to see where he would set it.
Yeah, I want to know what the odds are on that.
Yeah, our boy BTB, who kills it week to week and makes you money.
Half of 50. I'd say plus 350. That's how I'm going to go with it.
Yeah, that makes no sense to me what that means.
We're going to ask.
Anyway, so you guys know, just so you know, the most yards that Justin Herbert had in Mario's offense was his final year at 3,400.
Oh, okay.
He had 34.
That's still a great year.
That's pretty good. I didn't think he was very good that year. I thought he was better as a junior than he was this year.
His junior, he impressed me.
His second to last year, I don't know what class he was. His second to last year was better than his last year.
Now, with the running ball, this was my question. Toast, I want to get your opinion on it, too. So Mario wants to have this identity, and we know he wants to run the ball. He wants to get physical. Miami's been so poor at it. Like I said, second to last in the ACC in rushing the ball. Their identity hasn't been that. They've been passive as an offensive line. I wouldn't necessarily call them. I've never looked at Miami's offensive line. I can say they have tendency of aggression, but overall, are they aggressive offensive line? No. They haven't been for years and years and years and years. Do we think that suddenly changes? Do we think that Miami's going to run the ball better, and the question, they're going to be physical and have that edge about them. Can you erase everything we just did right now?
So, and listen, I think I said this, a few weeks ago or a few episodes ago that I was the first time that I can ever remember that I was excited to see the season-to-season improvement of the offensive line because I think it's going to be significant. I think that comes down to I know that that's how they're going to be coached. It's whether the horses we have in the stable right now have that in them. And I think that's what we're going to find out. So, I think right now we don't know if Mario and Alex have to do a full tear-down rebuild of this offensive line. We're going to find out this year what these guys had inside of them that are in that room right now and how bad they want this because Lord knows they're going to be pushed in that direction. But we have to wait. It's just like with TVD. I think an aspect that you guys didn't mention is we're talking about that there could be some question marks in the wide receiver room that could significantly impact whether or not he gets to 4,000 yards. If he doesn't, if he doesn't have those two guys that he knows he can go to all the time, X and somebody else, it could be tough. So, yeah, I think that's what's so exciting about this season. With the staff and the way that they're going, we know that we're going to find out what's in the belly of every kid on this roster, whether he was recruited by Mario or recruited by the last staff. And I think that's exciting to me. But I do think, I think this offensive line will be better. How much better, I don't know. But we have the dogs in the running back room, Ro. Like, we have the talent there. So I would think that, we're going to be a much better running team, but also when it comes to running for big, not like just 3.5 a carry. We're going to have some long runs. We're going to bust out some 20, 15, 30-yard runs, that are going to – so you're not going to have to run it as much, I don't think, to get to, 200 yards rushing for a game. I don't know.
X's and row homework. If you want to know what Mario is about, go watch the end of the Ohio State game. Watch the last 4 minutes. That's it. Don't watch the whole game. Just watch the last 4 minutes, and you'll learn everything you need to learn about Mario Cristobal as your head coach. Just watch how the game ends. Watch what they do, and you'll be like, oh, I get it now. I get what he's trying to establish because that might be the prerequisite of how you win a game here and there, right? You got to be physical. You got to have that identity. One of the things, though, and I don't know if you caught this, but our new pocket, Cristobal, Mirabal, our little jockey, it seems like he's found his center. And that's last year's center, Ja'Kai Clark. He had glowing high praise for him. He said he could be probably one of the upper echelon centers in the ACC. So, I don't think he's going to say that loosely. I know there was some slight debate. Our new transfer from the West Coast might challenge him because that was going to be the center for Mario in the future there at Oregon. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Looks like Ja'Kai Clark. And I'm actually happy with that decision because Ja'Kai came in and really solidified things for TVD towards the backstretch. TVD doesn't break records without Ja'Kai Clark at center. That's my personal opinion.
Oh, listen, man. And, those PFF grades, there was a significant noticeable uptick the minute that he came in to the center position, and just everything started working better for them. Also, when it comes to the TVD record and BTB laying down odds, I know we threw out 4,000, but he only needs 3,700 to break the record.
I said to break the record, not 4,000.
Yeah.
To break the record.
So, to break the record.
I tweeted it out and I asked him.
I'm definitely going
I asked him for his
in 2 seasons.
His odds.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Real time.
Yeah,
real time.
All right. Anything else on the gridiron you guys want to talk about before we move on to some other Canes stuff?
Nope. Let's move on to other Canes. Let's go to the hard Woodies.
Well, we got a huge game. So they're playing Iowa State tonight at 10 p.m.-ish, depending on how the games before them end up ending. But this is big, baby. This is big. Canes going for the Elite Eight.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man. Man, they played so well the beginning of the year. They got in the ACC. They lost to FSU twice, which was gross.
Close.
But gross.
Close.
I mean, they were down 18 or 20 on the second game at home in that first half. So those, I just kind of throw those away. They lost to a Duke team, obviously pretty good. We played them well, beat UNC. So, I think, and they were just the slander against them, and the refusal to rank them in the top 25 for many, many, many weeks was, we're like, maybe these guys know something we don't know. And I think that they kind of lent it to the fact that nobody really thought the ACC was very good. And now you're seeing in the tournament,
that's the biggest issue.
They're the best conference in the country.
And they have been consistently.
Yeah, so,
ACC basketball has always been top.
So this is fun. This is fun. And Iowa State, I mean, look, they're an 11 seed, so it's 10 and 11. I think it's a toss-up. I think Miami's favored by a couple, 2 or 3. I'd love to see them make the Elite Eight. Kansas or Arizona goes down last night. Gonzaga, always a fraud, goes down last night. So it's there for the taking. It really is. Not a single 1 seed left in the tournament. So it's fun. It's wide open.
Ro, the stat of the tournament, I told this to a scoop last night. I don't think you were on, but Texas Tech, which is throwing out a very, very senior, old squad. Like these guys are all. One of them was playing college basketball during the Barack Obama administration. That's 6 years ago.
that COVID year has really
right. You got like 25-year-olds on that team.
And then that
team full of Scott Patchins,
yeah,
and Hunter Renfro's, Dr. Renfro, and
a lot of people picked them to beat Duke last night.
Yeah.
Good game. Dukie's pulled it out. Krzyzewski trying to go out on top. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
So that'll be tonight.
And before we move on, Canes fans, I don't know if you found this yet, but on the channel, Roman Marsanti, which is OBB Legend 2, that's where it's shifting towards to, and we're going to keep flipping switches till that becomes the permanent home for the OBB Legend. But right now, Matty Ice, if you haven't caught this, he's doing phenomenal student of the game breakdowns. And I know a lot of you have followed me over the years because of the football kind of insight that we provide on that channel, but Matty is killing it. It's insight you can only get at the Legend. He did a full breakdown of the game tonight for you hardcore hard Woodies, we call you. Go over there and get your Woody on. Watch that video, inside out, Matty Ice. I mean, dude, he's killing it. It is fantastic. I mean, the production value. He's working with Kaniacs as well, his Goose to his Maverick, and those guys are killing it on the basketball side. Proud that they're part of that. But go check them out. It's a secret right now, and we need it to get it more public. Do me that favor. Go check it out.
Do it.
Same page. Do it. Do it now.
I'll tell you this. A few months ago, there were a lot of those in the fan base that were calling for the heads of both of Miami's basketball coaches, Katie and Mr. Larinaga, and you can just stop that nonsense now. Those exceptional seasons by each of them, and then we move over to the Diamond Boys, where listen. He is in the crosshairs nonstop. Head coach Gino Damare, but they pick up. They go 3-1 this week. The only loss was to Clemson, but they won that series. Granted, the loss was like 20-5. But, they come back on Wednesday. They knock off FAU. We know they hate those weekday games. So, and now they have UNC at home this weekend. So, listen, man, you go every week and you're winning 3 out of 4. There's not a whole lot of complaining to do until you get to the regionals and super regionals.
Listen, baseball is funny. The parity in baseball, the arms, all these midweek teams have arms capable of shutting you down now. It's so weird. I mean, in a microcosm,
especially when we're playing Florida teams like Florida Gulf Coast and FAU, like dude, there's studs on those squads.
Here's a microcosm. It's just a little story. Let me just go on a tangent, and I'm sorry. My little boys are terrible right now, right? We're reeling. We won a tournament, then we couldn't win a game of tournament. We play the best team we ever play. We start a kid who doesn't routinely start, but his off-speed pitches were nasty that night. We 10-run ruled probably the best team we ever played. And that's baseball. You give me the BTB odds, we're losing by 10 runs. We beat these kids in 4. And sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug. But that's the way college baseball is. You got to look at it in parts at the end of the season. You're not sweeping every single damn series. Your goal is not to sweep Clemson. It's not to sweep. Win 2 out of 3 every series. Do that in Major League Baseball over the course of a 162-game season. I think it's less now, 150. Do that over the course of a season. You're going to have over 100 wins. You realize if you win over 100 games in MLB, you are kicking ass and probably a lock to win the World Series once you go over 100 games. That still means you lost 62, right? Baseball's a different type of game. You guys got to, the love lady debate and train is out there. Got to let the season in parts. Now you can look at it in track record. If you don't get to the Super Regional, if you don't get a College World Series berth, because we do have a storied program, that's got to be the goal, similar to football, right? Basketball, we lose Sweet 16. Yes, great job. You do that in football and baseball? No. No. It's a different set of rules. It's different parameters. But pause and pump the brakes, man. The pitching these days is filthy. It's filthy. Filthy. Relax. Aaron Rodgers got paid. Relax.
Speaking of getting paid, you've got the Canes game tonight. You've got more March Madness happening tomorrow and on Sunday. You've got hockey going on. You've got the NBA getting ready for the playoffs with like 7-8 games left for a team. You need to make some money. You need to go to DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code TPPN. You bet $5 on any college hoops team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. If they win, you win with promo code TPPN this week at DraftKings Sportsbook. 21 and over. Restrictions apply. See show notes for details. And if you need a place to get those winners, damn, Scoop, he doesn't stop. I don't understand. He should have his own Learjet at this point.
I think he might. He just keeps it hidden. It's one of those things that he doesn't ever stop. It's one of those jobs that it seems glamorous and fun, and he's always but he never stops because he has to provide all the information for all of his clients every day, all day. It's pretty wild.
All seasons.
There's no off season, right? Because he does it throughout the fiscal year because you have everything, and then baseball's starting back up. So he's got that all summer. Then football ramps back up. Soccer never really stops. It only kind of stops towards the end of the year for maybe a couple months, really. There's still some other stuff to do. But when that's not going, he's got hockey and the bowl games going, realistically. So I've been with him. If he's not on his phone, he's putting something out on his watch. Guys, he's out there he's killing it. This is what he does best. If you guys have paid attention at all to Beating the Bookie and understand what he does and how he makes people money, and he'll drop his free stuff on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. Now he's built a nice following on TikTok. BeatingTheBookie.com is where you get your packages. Get them for 30 days. Get them all year. Get them 6 months, I think. Any sport. Bet only NHL. I mean, if you bet only on NHL for the last 3 months, you'd be up an awful lot of units. So just grab whatever package you want to start with and go from there. BeatingTheBookie.com, best in the business, and he's a great follow, too. Don't miss that.
Then you cash out that cash from DraftKings and you go to Caneswear, right, bro?
Oh, 1,000%. Caneswear. All you have to do is visit them at their Davies store location. It's Mecca. We've all been there. It's heaven. It's pearly gates. It's there they are, St. Peter at the gate, but he's donned an orange and green garb. He's got that new Miami white old school M baseball hat that I've been like wearing religiously up here. He's got that camo hoodie that I bought the other day. He's got that black tumbler. That's the St. Peter at Caneswear. He greets you at the door, and then you open it, and it goes, oh, and then it plays the Miami Hurricane fight song. It's so wonderful. Anything over $99 is going to be free shipping, fastest shipping in the West. Brett, Kenny, and the boys at Caneswear, they'll hook you up. Proud supporter of X's and Row and Studio the Game. Thank you, gentlemen.
We mentioned OBB Legend a couple of times. Also have to mention that we are very excited to welcome our newest podcast, which will be dropping its episode on April 1st. Fours Up with Marsh and Jordan making their triumphant return after about basically a year off, and doing so under the OBB umbrella, and we are absolutely thrilled to welcome them to the family, so keep your eye on that. If you're already subscribed to their pod, you should still be anyways. If not, go ahead on all the favorite platforms and search for Fours Up and click follow, subscribe.
And they got a brand new, nice, sleek logo. Scoop. Mm-hmm. Scoopy.
Nice logo.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't come up with the idea.
It's got a little.
I didn't come up with the idea because
It's got a little Marvel in there.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, I'm having a tough time. I mean, because there's not a whole lot going on with that. So I had a tough time as far as ideas. And Ro's like, oh, I got an idea. He sends me this thing that I've never seen before. And it was funny is when I sent the original draft, if you will, to Toast. He was like, oh, it's got a little, and I'm like, yeah, of course, you guys understand what this thing is. Right? I hadn't the slightest idea, but I turned it into something that looks pretty damn good. So, yeah, nice logo. I like it.
Nice logo.
Yeah.
Nice logo.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Absolutely. So looking forward to having them be part. Before we get into 5 questions, guys, I think we have to mention a little bit about what the professional football team down here did this week. I mean, some significant, like, holy Christ. Your Dolphins made some moves.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see that one coming.
I'm almost okay with you referring to them as your Dolphins. Almost okay. I haven't rooted for them for 20 years.
I know.
Because I've had the time to invest into one program, and that one, it can't be Saturday and Sunday. Like, that doesn't exist in our world. So it was Saturday. Sunday, don't care. Dolphins couldn't care any less than don't care. Like, woof. But I got to be honest with you. I love the McDaniel hire, and only because it's a breath of fresh air. This dude is not like any other football coach you've ever been around.
It's the Mike Leach hire of the NFL.
Oh, my God. He's the mentor.
Yeah.
He really is. He's the young mentor.
He's the young pirate.
He's the young pirate for Scoop. I mean, it's if you watch any of his stuff and you watch him with Pat McAfee, and it's just like I don't know how he did it, but I'm even more impressed that he got it done. And then he goes out and he makes all these moves. And they got like 14 players, new players, and then he goes and he gets the cheetah. I mean, my God, look, Mike McDaniel made Deebo Samuel. Made him into what he is. You don't think that he was just face full of drool at the opportunity to turn the cheetah into his Dolphins version of Deebo? I mean, holy cow.
Dude, look at this offense now with him
Waddle?
and with Waddle, and then with Moser in the backfield, who's just as fast as the two of them, and then Gesicki at tight. Like, dude, this offense could be spectacular.
Here's my stick. And here's the hive I'm going to poke at. You get arguably the wide receiver who can stretch vertically the field like none other, and you pair him with the quarterback who can't reach him. Regardless, I still have some Tua concerns. He's not my guy. He hasn't been my guy. I was a Herbert guy. I'm just telling you right now, and I know people want to, like, stab me with a pencil over and over and over and over every time that I bring that up. But, yeah, listen, I watched Tua. I'm not screaming arm. And you're like, oh, Ro, why you say? His former coach had indictments on him and his arm ability and his arm capability. But he just threw the ball 70 yards on film. Come on, man. Yeah, okay. I'll believe it when I see it.
And I don't disagree with that because, again, I'm not a fan either.
I just don't. I think he's going to get. I think it's going to get alienated even more down here the first time he underthrows him on a route. The first time, and it's going to happen. He's going to underthrow the cheetah. His name's the cheetah for a reason. He's going to underthrow his ass, or they're not going to use him downfield, and the general fan base is going to eat him alive. Eat him alive. I just think it's a bad pairing. I do.
I don't. Okay, here's what I'd rather have. If I were a Dolphins fan, again, I would rather have Cheetah on the team. I'd rather have Tyreek Hill here. I meant to say here, not Hill. Tyreek here with Tua, knowing that there's an opportunity potentially to get a different quarterback for this offense than not having him here at all, irregardless of the potential matchup issue. I'll say something that I saw the other day that I thought was very interesting. Tua averaged 5.5 yards a completion last year, something like that, right? Mahomes, we all know, Cheetah's quarterback for the past few years, averaged 4.8.
They changed.
So
they forced him to hit more checkdowns this year.
So and that's fine. I'm just saying I don't necessarily think I understand your dismay of his inability to get the ball downfield to potentially lead him on a 9 route correctly. But I think they're going to and watching San Francisco's offense, I think they're going to utilize him in a much different capacity.
There's a guy that's in my. It's like 5 questions. It's like echoes in my brain. Lance Roffers right now is echoing in my brain. You know, OBB legend contributor, very smart analytical guy, and he's gonna see. I told you. Did you hear that Mahomes stat that Scoop brought on the podcast? And I'm like, I don't think that's the more accurate picture. You know what I think is the more accurate picture? Time. How many times did Pat Mahomes extend the play, which aided in the benefit of Tyreek Hill? Because that's going to be equally as important as the yards. It's not necessarily just yards for me, like, hey, his yards per average on attempts.
I was just
the time. Because how many times did Mahomes make something out of nothing that extended the play? That is not in Tua's game.
Know?
That's not. I'm just telling you. You find that out. No, I'm telling you, it's more than Tua.
The numbers are a microcosm. I understand. I'm just saying I'd rather have him here than not here, and then make a change if it doesn't work.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And you know what? They're paying Tyreek Hill enough money that if Tyreek Hill says, I want a new quarterback, it's going to happen. He's like, I'm not going to play with this guy.
Listen. I give the Dolphins credit and Mike McDaniel credit that they came in here, and regardless of what we've thought about Tua, this franchise has said, and this new staff has said, we're all in on you. You're our guy. And they're going to surround him with as much talent as possible. And here's the deal. Tua's got 1 year.
Yeah.
This is a 1-year deal. We're going to see what he can do with all this talent this year, but there's not going to be, the jury's still out after this year. The jury will come in, there will be a verdict, and he will either be the quarterback for the next 5 to 7 years, or they will make a move in the offseason and he will be gone. So this is a 1 year thing here.
I mean, they got his tackle. They've got, a stable of running backs,
his playmakers,
and speed,
a fast running back
from one sideline to the other, that people aren't going to be able to keep up with.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
We'll see. All right, you know what time it is.
Questions.
Every time you speak to me, Lance, that's the voice that plays in my head. By the way,
Love it.
All right, question number 1.
Speaking of speed, hold on a second. I totally forgot this. I wrote this down. You guys see the blur that is Robbie Washington?
Oh yeah. After you tweeted it out, I went and looked at his film.
That's like Cheetah 2.0. It's like he sped only himself up on film, and no one else.
it's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah,
It's a cute video trick he did. Yeah.
I was like, wow.
They got twins to commit, and like real twins, not like the Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger twins.
You know what I saw?
Like
you know
real
what I saw on
twins.
Twitter?
What?
Somebody had asked the question, why one of them is so much taller than the other?
You know how
I couldn't
twins
even
works,
answer
right?
it. Like I wanted to answer it, and I couldn't even answer it. I'm like, I don't know. It's like genetics and shit. I mean, really, they're not identical.
One's an uppercase I and one's a lowercase I.
What kind of question is that?
People always assume twins are identical, and generally they're not.
More often than not, they're not.
More often than they're not. So it's like, yeah, you can have twins that look nothing alike.
Anyway, on to our questions.
All right, question number 1. I guess this is kind of because, the president of Ukraine used to be kind of like a stand-up comic. So next U.S. president is a current stand-up comic. Who do you want it to be and why? So it can't be someone that's dead. Current stand-up comic is the next U.S. president.
Got
Who
it.
you picking?
Good.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
I mean, there's only one answer for this. Dave Chappelle.
Damn good answer.
I mean, there's no better answer. I mean, I couldn't think. That's the only one I thought of. But why? Why not?
Dave Chappelle's right
That's my
there.
answer.
Yeah, I could see. You could put a Jon Stewart in there.
Yeah, because he's in that Stephen Colbert, because he's in that arena
Right.
already. But
Right.
I don't know. The Chappelle
So
answer
I was
is...
thinking. Here's who I was thinking. Yeah, we need a whole change of pace. I was thinking, what about Fluffy? Gabriel Iglesias. Fluffy.
I don't know who he is.
Oh, my goodness.
He's great. Fluffy's
he's huge.
awesome.
He's
He's
huge.
hilarious. He's 400
Yeah,
pounds.
no, I
he's
think I
like, he's
know
like
who he is.
Ralphie May. Yeah, he's like Ralphie
Yeah,
May,
right, okay.
the late great Ralphie May.
There's a really guy. I love Bill Burr. I mean, I think he'd be funny
Sure.
too. He just walk around.
Oh, Bill
he just
Burr
walk
would be
around yelling at everybody.
Be strong
he'd be
Park,
great.
right? Unapologetic.
Yeah, he just screams. the whole
I'm gonna go with a guy that I think just a dark horse sleeper, and I don't know why he popped up into my mind, but I think he would do a good job because of his temperament. Give me the water boy. Give me Adam Sandler. I just think he would just. I would love his press conferences. I mean, he couldn't do any worse than the last two guys.
That would be good.
Right?
He's not going to be a super penis, and he's not going to be super inept. He's just going to go in there and be like, yeah, just chill, go with the
In
flow.
the
We
middle
need
of the
that.
State of the Union, he pulls out an
That's right.
acoustic
That's
guitar
right.
and does a little
Yeah,
song
yeah.
He's like, here, I want to sing something to you.
about inflation.
He doesn't even need his own. He doesn't even need his
Pull
own
out
musician.
inflation car. Gases went up over $4 a car. Did you see Ice-T, speaking of that?
Yes.
At the
Robbed
gas
at the gas
station.
station. That's
They
an
asked
epic
him
tweet.
Oh, that was... Check out the Ice-T. That was a epic tweet.
really, really
epic
good.
tweet. I was robbed. By who? Can you give me a description? I'll do one better. It's pump number 5. It was awesome. That was awesome. All right.
Question number 2. If your pet dies, should your employer allow you to have time off? Why or why not?
Oh, absolutely. 1,000%.
If you
1,000%.
say no, you've
my cat,
you've
though.
never been through that experience. That's the reality. If
That
you
hurts.
say
So
no,
how many-
you've never experienced what that actually is like.
Right. So how many days, though? What is an appropriate... Do you get a day? Do you get a few days? Do you get a week?
I don't,
2.
2 days is good. Yeah,
days?
I mean, 2 days is good.
I think 2 days is good.
When we had Haley and Chloe, and we had to put Haley down first, I was numb, literally numb for a week. I couldn't even fucking feel what was going on outside. Like weird stuff, right? So 2 days. I mean, it's probably good to at least get over it. But I didn't have any kids then. Crazy.
Yeah, well, so for us, because we don't have kids, so we have an unhealthy relationship with our
course.
pets. But yeah, when we put Milo down, man, dude, my wife didn't get out of bed for like 3 days. I was just a mess for the better part. I was in the haze for the better part of a week, and then, dude, it is the worst. Where you come home and then all of a sudden you don't have to walk. It is the
It's
worst.
So again, anybody who says no never had to go through, either had a pet and didn't have to go through the euthanization of the pet or what have you, but having to go through that, stop. I mean,
I wake up in the morning and I have to play like executioner. That's a fun role to play with a thing you love and family pet, right? So I say, hey, he had cancer. We only had a couple more months, and it got to that day, and I looked at him. I was like, buddy, we can't keep doing this to you anymore. I got to let you go. So the best thing I could do for me personally as a human being is like, let me go to work. I just got to push through this. I got to go. So I say my goodbyes. I send him on his way. Like I'm broken up inside, I get to work, and I'm like, as long as I get to teaching my class, as long as I get in there, because I was teaching recruits, as long as I could get in there and just go about my day, I'll grieve later. I just want to move past this. I just want to go. All of a sudden, it never happens. The chief of the department comes, hey, Frank, let me come talk to you real quick. Hey, I want to come talk to you. I go in his office, I look right at him, and goes, man, you all right? You look like shit. And I bawled.
yeah, right.
I started crying right there. Meanwhile, this guy's never seen this from me. He's never seen the look on his face of the shock and awe of just like me losing it, and he had no idea why. I just lost my doggy. He gave me like that weird hug. You know, you don't want to hug a man when you're not like affectionate like that to begin with. So he's like, yeah, come here, hug me.
And
weird. So weird.
Words to the wise, right? As you did it, and Toast did it, and I've done it twice now in the room with. It's awful, but you must be there. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
put your feelings aside, sack up, be a man, and be in that room with them.
Dude, it's part of the. In my mind, that's the contract you make with the pet when you take on that pet to be part of your family. Is that when that day comes, yeah, like my wife's going to be holding him, and I'm going to be in the room. And listen, I'll tell you what, it sucks, but it's really quick. Like it's a matter of friggin' seconds or whatever. But yeah, but you got to be in the room. You got to sack up. Why are you laughing? How can we be talking about this and you're fucking laughing uncontrollably?
Because he said sack up and be a man, and in my head I'm like, or be a woman and go swim.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. All right, question number 3. What's something most people can do that you simply can't?
Swim.
This is easy for me. This is simple for me, has nothing to do with anything aquatic. I can whistle like this, but I can't do the loud whistle like at a sporting event where you put your fingers in there and like, I wish I could do that loud ass, like, hey kids, get the fuck in from, being outside, that whistle.
Yeah, well, I got it.
I can't do that either.
one. I can't do that one.
Yeah, I can.
I
Loud,
cannot
too.
sit Indian style,
Me neither.
but most people can.
What happens?
I just can't do
squish
it.
my
Like my
balls.
hips and my hamstrings don't let me do it. Like it's
Gotcha.
physically it doesn't happen. But most people can do that, like without a problem.
Most
right?
people, most people can throw a frisbee. I'm just
I
like,
can't throw a frisbee very well either.
yeah,
weird,
really?
weird
Yeah.
stuff. Oh, yeah, that's weird.
Weird.
Yes.
I just prefer throw it lefty because mine as well, and I'm
Yeah.
right-handed.
I mean, it does the same thing.
God, when's the last time you saw anyone playing frisbee?
I got a couple
park.
guys at work that play that frisbee
Yeah,
golf.
frisbee
They go
golf.
to like the parks and
It's
stuff.
not
They're
like
like
a
all
frisbee,
over the
right?
place. They have like bags. They have like different
Yes.
like weighted. Like I'm like,
it's
what?
it's very much
It's like
Very
golf.
scientific.
distance related.
Yeah.
Wild
Yeah,
stuff.
weird.
I've seen
Pretty
people do
wild.
it in person too. I was at the park and they have one over in Coconut Creek here, right? Down Tradewinds. They have like a course over there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they were talking about. Trade wins. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Number 4. What is your scariest paranormal experience?
It's got to be like Ouija board related or something.
Dude, for me, so when I was a sophomore in high school, and I'm sorry, no, I wasn't. No, 'cause I was a day student. So it had to be senior year. So senior year of high school, a classmate of mine was killed in a car accident in town, and the next night, I was awoken from a dead sleep because I swear to God, dude, he was in my hallway yelling my name at my house.
Weird. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, totally
Yeah, that's
fucking weird, dude. Totally freaking weird. Yeah.
I'm at Quarter Deck. It's no longer there anymore, but it was on Boynton Beach Boulevard eating a jalapeno popper. Right? With jam. I love those things.
Those were
They are
good,
so
actually.
jalapeno poppers with the
a
jam.
little
jelly they
yeah,
had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't had one of those in
But
years.
jalapeno pajama.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is in my mouth, right? And my wife goes to me, I had a dream last night that I was pregnant. I said, okay, there's a store right here. And I gave her a pregnancy test and she was pregnant.
Whoa.
I will say this. Listen, ladies. And my wife did it twice to me, and both times were not very good. When we propose to you, right, we take our time. At least we should. I mean, the sporting event thing, I wouldn't
she didn't
necessarily
think
do
this
that.
out.
We go to the beach. We have like rose petals. We'll put blindfolds on you. I mean, it's the one time we get creative, right? And then after that, it's probably downhill for most relationships. But the reality is we're doing our best, right? You don't tell a man he's about to have his first baby over a jalapeno popper.
Get a popper in your mouth.
The next time was, hey, you've been mad at me the last 3 days. I've been wanting to tell you, but I'm pregnant again. That's how she did it with Franco. I'm like, you suck. You suck. Like, you do something creative. You do something. Like, don't rob the man of this. You can never get that back. All right.
Tell us how you really feel.
I did.
It's real
And
emotion
you and
right
thousands
there.
of others. I would like to say
Paranormal
nobody's listening, but they are.
Yeah,
so.
right. Telling the whole South Florida here.
Yeah.
Did you do your paranormal scoop?
Yeah, Ouija board related probably when I was.
Oh,
I
Ouija,
don't really
okay.
have one,
All
I
right.
don't think. Not that I can specifically remember.
Last question, number 5. What is that one song that lifts your mood no matter what?
I know it.
Oh, I got this one. He's on lock for me.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Oh,
The ukulele version from Israel. The Oli guy. It's a huge guy.
He's
from
related
Hawaii.
to Big Joe. Yeah, he's related to Big Joe. They're all related.
Yeah. That song, that version of that song, it's impeccable. Yeah, brilliant.
I was going a whole different direction. Toto Africa. The
Good.
original. Not the Weezer, although it's basically the same.
Good,
Yeah.
good.
I don't know. That song always just, I'm singing along. It puts me in a happy mood. Like, that song. I
And
don't
you know
why.
you're in your car singing it as loud as humanly possible because
sure.
it's the only way you
It's
can
the
try
only
to
way
hit those notes.
You can't not sing that loud.
Yeah. Right.
You can't even falsetto that properly.
No, you can't. And you're trying. You don't quite get there, but you're trying. I'm gonna go the other way with this too because it's more like lift. You said lift up your mood, or
Yeah,
that's
lift your
that's
mood.
what, lift up your mood.
Yeah.
I will tell you this: that anytime I'm about to go to the gym, and I listen to a song called "Letting Go," I get hype. Even after all these
Pretty good
years,
track.
that song just like when that song comes on, bro, I'm like, it's Bullet with a Name on it and Letting Go are like, dude, I'm on this. I am on this. Like I go from like running 7 miles an hour at my turtle pace to like I'm up to 15 and this is good for me. Like it doubles, more than doubles. Like that song gets me going. Always has.
Oh, isn't that
All
sweet?
right. Nice. Very good.
Isn't that
Very
sweet?
good.
I had a. Oh, we're done with 5 questions. No, it's fine.
Oh, you can keep talking.
I was
Yeah,
because I
just
was
like
thinking
the-
of other ones. Because I got this and I'm like, oh man, I was thinking of other ones, and I thought of one too, but it's entirely musical because the words aren't
Okay.
uplifting, and it's
Gotcha.
Gray Street by Dave Matthews. Musically, though, the guitar and Beauford, the drummer, doing their thing together in this song is amazing.
DMB is such an anomaly where it is so people who listen to the songs, you just listen to songs, but people who know like music theory and like composition, Dave Matthews Band is elite. The fact that you even sing along to their songs and the fact that they're catchy is a gift because every song is the same pattern these days. It's refabricated bullshit, right? It's this is verse 1, this is verse 2, it's 3 or 4 chords over and over and over. You listen to like Crash and the intricacies of that or that song, you realize what a talented ass musician. Tim Reynolds, the AP reporter, is a big douchebag, but Tim Reynolds, the guitar player, is the cooler Tim Reynolds. You will not find a more... He's like the Tom Morello, Rage Against the Machine of the acoustic world of a guitar player, and he's brilliant. 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 If you're a fan of music, I don't like that soft crap, bro. But I'm just telling you, as a musician, that guy is apex.
And he puts it perfectly. You don't even, honestly, if you could just turn off the vocals for DMB and just listen to the music that they put together, the vocals are is the icing on top of what they're actually creating. It's brilliant stuff. That's why I like the vocals for me in that song. The vocals are great. The words aren't uplifting at all. But the composition of that song, it's just stupid.
So our band starts on the premise of a Dave Matthews Band. I sell Scoop a guitar, And he says he wants to learn the song Crash. So I was like, sure, buddy, I'll make a quick $50. Here you go, take this guitar. And in my mind, a new guitar player was like, you got no chance to learn to play this song. But it wasn't a mean thing. It was just the fact that I knew playing guitar and having more experience with it, learning to play and sing Dave Matthews at the same time,
that's the issue.
It's almost impossible because he plays it like a drummer. And there's a reason why drummers don't sing, because one part of your brain, and he's always admitted this, I play guitar like a percussionist. He doesn't play on the same beats as everybody else. It's fascinating stuff. That's like one of my things.
He's using
one of my,
both
like,
sides of
joys.
his brain
Of his
at
brain.
the same
Yeah.
time. When most
It took
people,
me
you
months-
can't, you know, even it doesn't matter how long you practice, most people can't do that.
It took me months to learn how to play Crash and sing at the same time. Months well worth it because it definitely got me laid a couple times.
Good song.
But I'm just telling you, it's literally really hard to learn to play and sing that stuff. Nice tangent. 5 questions.
Nice.
5 questions.
All right, let's wrap this bad boy in a bow. We got to name the episode,
I
which
already
I think
have
we
it.
already have. At least myself and Scoop already had
correct.
the episode named.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we nailed this one about 20 minutes ago. Do you want to go ahead and tell them what
Get
it is,
your Woody
Scoop?
on.
Yeah. Get your Woodies on. Yeah. Both of us just started writing the minute you said that.
Well,
Like,
well, see,
oh, there we
the
go.
OBB legend, and we're working with our web designer, Wes, who's doing a phenomenal job. It's going to be the prettiest Miami Hurricane website on the market, and that's not even... I'm calling my shot. I'm pointing the left field. It is. We've seen it. We've seen sneak peeks. It's not even there yet, but this thing is gorgeous. And next thing you know, I'm like, we have it in our OBB chat, which you could still join, by the way, before it goes live. And that's going to work you right into your membership to the OBB Legend. So what are you waiting for? But the reality is, dude, in our OBB chat, we call it the Hard Woodies. And now I see it on our website, Hard Woodies. And I'm like, I guess it's sticking. We're going to be us.
Your Woodies on.
Get your Woodies on.
Nice. So, boys, we going to go to the spring game?
It's April 16th.
It's
April
the 16th.
I mean, if we're allowed there, I'm there. I think we should all be there if we can. But if we're...
Yeah, I'm good for April
Okay,
16th.
so
yeah.
the
All right, we'll
trifecta of the OBB will be there in person.
Yes. Well, we'll need to bring some 6-packs of in a cooler of Tank Brewers.
La Loca or Frank the Tank. But apparently we can't have too much Frank the Tank because
No,
that's
that's
like
a stout.
stout
Yeah, no, we got to go with the
Thank you.
Loca.
So go Budley, go. Speaking of go Budley, go Brownlee,
Brownlee,
go.
go.
Hey, offers off the table. Offers off the table. The whole point of this, was you to stay at FSU and go start practicing. Practice, my man. Practice. You can't leave to chase the bag. We wanted you there to have the bag. Come on, man.
I did see that the Tank had some interest in some Orange Bowl brews, a collaboration between the Tank Brewing Company and the Orange Bowl boys. We were going through some names of potential brews yesterday. I saw the No Blocky brew. I saw the Hit You Like a Hopsicane or something like that. The OBB account threw out some ideas.
Yes,
The
they
Dislocator. Throughout the mailing, throughout the some other. Hold on, there's some other. Hold on. I don't want to forget this. There's some really good some options that we had thrown out yesterday. I don't know who did it, but it was
Frank
white.
the Tank.
Let me see. Hold your horses. The Bang Brew.
Oh, there you
Bang
go.
Brew was good.
There you
The
go.
Semanticizer. The Mailing, the Intern. The Bread Canoe.
Oh, I remember
the
that.
Bread Canoe was
Red
an option.
Canoe, sure.
The IP Daily.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Yep.
I mean, you
an
got to
IP
have the
daily.
IP Daily.
How can you not?
I'm not. It's like it's like an IPA. It's the IP Daily.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of
Nice.
options.
Nice. I like the IP Alley.
IP Alley. There you go.
Alley.
Instead of daily. Drop the D.
Yep, there you go. I love it. The IP Alley. Oh, damn. All right, boys. We got to wrap this thing up so we can get this thing dropped.
Good idea.
We will see you guys next week. As always, go Cane!
Oh, one more thing.
What? Shit, fuck. Okay. What?
So the week before the spring games, so it'll be the 13th, 14th, around that range of April, we're going to have a special guest on with us, and he is going to give us a full recap of spring ball and a preview of the spring game. And then we're going to have the spring game, and then he's going to come on the week after the spring game and give us a full breakdown, kind of his thoughts on how the spring game went, so on and so forth. This particular segment will be a future season-long segment.
Oh, so this is like
player.
a tease.
This is
like a sample.
Of course, it's a tease.
Okay.
For the season, he'll be a recap of the game and then a preview of the upcoming game. Not going to tell you who it is yet, but holy bleep, this is going to be fun. Insider recap stuff.
And you know how we do. You think we just don't get like great guests out of like it just happens, right? Next thing you know, Alonzo Highsmith shows up. You know, I have a feeling there's a guest in the chamber ready to go.
All right.
Next week.
On that note,
There you go.
we'll try this one more time.
Okay.
As always, go Canes!
Oh, and there was one more thing.
Fucking God. I'm going to make you sit Indian style.
Well, you walked right into that. Okay, go ahead. You can go.
I'm glad you did it because I was
Yeah, go
about
ahead.
to
You
do
can
it.
go. You can go.
All right.
You gotta say your thing.
Wrap it all up.
I had nothing.
As always, go Canes!
Bang.
That's another episode in the books. The Orange Ball Boys are brought to you by Ed Morse Automotive Group. Visit edmorse.com.